If you clicked on this video thinking you were going to get a gaming commentary or a let's play, something fun and light-hearted, then you might want to skip this video. I'm in a ranting mood and I'm going to be talking about cultural appropriation and racism. Talking about that sort of stuff has never gone wrong for anybody, has it? So I was just watching a few videos from my favourite YouTubers, and H3H3 Productions, Ethan and Hilda, had made a new video, and it was about this video that was posted on the BBC website. A bastion of brilliant journalism and truth. So we're going to watch it together. It's only a couple of minutes long, and we're going to sort of discuss a few points. Well, not discuss, because it's just me talking. I'm going to rant about some shit, because it's nuts. Let's watch this together, shall we? Warning, this video contains historical footage of blackface minstrel shows, which you may find offensive. You know it's going to be a good video when it starts off with that sort of warning.
Ever shared this? Or this? Nothing like a good reaction gif, right?
No.
But you've probably noticed the most popular ones are of black people being dramatic.
First little point, no, I've never noticed that it's more black people being overly dramatic. But okay, we'll go with you.
This is Digital Blackface.
This is... Sorry, so it's sharing a gif of a black person reacting is blackface. She must be confused. It must be like a different meaning. Let's just watch on.
Blackface is when a non-black person uses makeup to blacken up. Minstrel shows depicted black people in all sorts of negative ways.
Of course, it's like she's exaggerating. It's nothing like that. Of course, that's totally an extreme version.
They were mocking, demeaning stereotypes, and they exaggerated black people's facial features and their expressions. And Digital Blackface is the 21st century version.
I'm sorry. So let me just get this straight. Using a GIF of a black person reacting because there was a funny post and you did a GIF is the equivalent, the 21st century equivalent of the black and white minstrels. I feel like that's a stretch. I don't think this is just me, right? I feel like that's a tiniest of stretches, okay? But maybe she's going to explain it and it will be much clearer.
Of that, white people using GIFs to perform some kind of exaggerated blackness.
I don't think this is just me. When I use a GIF on Twitter, I just sort of type in whatever, like, reaction, whatever I want, and then I just sort of scan through quickly and find the one that I think is funniest or suits the situation the most. I don't think to myself, well, I need a black person reacting because, otherwise it doesn't make sense because, I want to exaggerate my blackness. Okay.
And that's not all. Let's talk about white people using dark-skinned emojis.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What have you got to say on that front?
This is a form of cultural appropriation.
Oh, no, it's not. No, it's... This is my trigger sentence. If walking past the street at me and just say cultural appropriation, that is my trigger sentence. We'll talk about it a little bit more, but let's see how she explains this one.
Paying little respect to someone else's culture and using it however.
Okay, so this is an interesting image to use an example. The dreadlock. So about a year, I think it was like a year or so ago, there was, I can't remember if it was a boy or a girl in college in America, a white person that had dreadlocks and a black girl sort of bullying her, saying you can't have dreadlocks, blah, 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 it's cultural appropriation. And it all blew up and it was on various different YouTube channels and stuff. And I just don't understand cultural appropriation. I just don't understand it. For example, let's use dreadlocks as this example, like she has used here. So if we're going to be looking into dreadlocks here, so from what we can gather, the origins of the dreadlock is from Greece. Greece. Not massively known for their black population in 3,600 years ago. Or possibly, you could argue, Indian. But this is my point, right? This is my point, is that you can't even prove where some of these things come from. So therefore, to say, a black person to say to a white person it's cultural appropriation because you're having dreadlocks, yet it seems to either come from India or Greece as the history of dreadlocks. Even if it's not, like, we can't prove. There's lots of, you know, historical evidence to show various different places and stuff like that. But my point is, the human race as a whole has cultural appropriated for the lifetime of humans. That's why we've got so advanced. You share ideas, you share products, you share inventions. That's how it's all worked. You trade with other countries. It is bonkers to think that that is now a bad thing. That's like saying, I can't use a firework because I'm not Chinese. Or I can't use a car because I'm not American. Think of all the inventions. Does that mean when I pick up this remote control to change my channel, do I then have to Google the origins of the remote control and make sure this was done by a white person? And if not, I'm never allowed to use it again. What about a mug? What about a lighter? What about polos? Were these mints made by white people? It beggars belief, this whole cultural appropriation thing. Surely, okay, racism is, of course, a thing, and it's terrible, and it needs to get finished, and it needs to... All the people that are racist just need a good slap. The thing is, right, surely the ideal world that we live in is where people just don't see colour, right? Just don't see it at all. So it's not even a thing. It doesn't even enter into anyone's mind when conversing with somebody of a different colour than you. That would be the ideal. I think we can pretty much all agree with that. But what you're trying to do with this cultural appropriation is saying, okay, all the things black people have got, white people can't have. All the white people things, the black people can't have. And everybody else in the world has their own things and we're not allowed to share. So you're creating, if anything, you're creating divides between these peoples, between these races. When I look at a GIF, like, I would, you know, she is more racist than me because she's noticed that her friends on Twitter, this woman I'm talking about in this video, are posting more black GIFs. The fact she's noticed that, and that's become a thing in her head, is worse than me, who, I don't even see it. I just don't even... It doesn't even enter my head when I go to post a GIF. I'm going to post a GIF and it's going to be a reaction. So I go in, I type in, wait for Twitter to be really slow, or could be my Northern Irish internet. And any... Like I was saying, if thanks, internet. Thanks. I just choose the funniest one. It's not going to work for me, is it? It's just not going to fucking work for me now, is it? Reaction. I've got typing rage. I've got typing rage. The fact is, you go into Twitter. There we go. So, here's the GIFs that come up for reaction, or some of them. That's just a purple blob. Don't think it's loaded. A very famous GIF. There we go. So, white person. This is just me counting. I've never done this before because it doesn't even enter my head. White person, black person, white person, black person, white person. These are, I think, the most popular. White person, sloth. Emojis, black person, white person, monkey, white person, black person. Ethan himself. This is my personal favourite. I love that one. To me, there seems to be a mix. Surely it would be worse if there was no black people on these GIFs, or they were segregated. So when you go into GIF, and then it says, are you black, or are you white? And then you choose the one you want, and then it only gives you... I think the whole point, what we're trying to achieve as a race of human beings, is to say, we don't even notice colour, or creed, or race, or anything. We just don't see it anymore. But... all this sort of stuff, especially when there's real racism in the world that needs to be talked about and needs to be dealt with, bringing up this utter crap is just pointless and a waste of space, and it covers up all the shit that you should be talking about. Let's watch on for a bit more of the video. So, paying little respect to someone else's culture and using it however you please.
However you please. So what's wrong with white people posting these GIFs and using these?
That's pretty much my question there. What's wrong? What's wrong with it? Because I don't see it, and I guarantee everybody else that uses it doesn't see the colour of the person they're posting the GIF about, which is surely a good thing.
These emojis. Well, black people are not here for other people's entertainment.
I like the fact you just said black people are not here for other people's entertainment. Yet pretty much every GIF you've used is of entertainers whose literal job is to entertain people. But that's not how it works. Who sits there going into the GIF search and going, oh, I need a black person for this entertainment because, you know, white people aren't entertaining or the logic behind it is bizarre. Let's carry on.
We're not symbols of excessive emotion, and we aren't here to make you look more sassy, more sexy, or more street.
Nobody's going into it thinking it. I don't go into it to a GIF and put in a reaction and go, well, I better pick the black person to make me look street. That is you thinking that, not the rest of us. It is beyond ridiculous. We don't want to be seen as having two-dimensional... Nobody's thinking that. Nobody's thinking that.
We don't want to be seen as having two-dimensional personalities. Let us decide for ourselves how we wish to be perceived. Now, I'm not saying you have to be black to post.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad I've got your permission. But what I am saying...
What I am saying is think about what you're doing. Ask yourself why you're always drawn to that GIF or that emoji.
People are drawn to those GIFs because they're funny. If... Like I said, in an ideal world, you would want to. You're going to post a GIF, and you'd go, right, I'm just going to pick the funny one because have a look through. Oh, that one's quite funny. In an ideal world, you're not seeing colour, so the fact you're pointing out that we shouldn't pick the black ones is so much worse. It doesn't matter. That's the whole point. My mum has a dream catcher in the window, right? It's not her culture or religion or belief or anything. It's just a nice object. It's also not hurting anybody else. It's not hurting their beliefs or religions or anything whatsoever. It is bonkers. What you're asking for, people that are going on about cultural appropriation, what they're basically asking for is more differences between the races. We'll keep our stuff, you keep your stuff, not allowed to share it. How is that the right way to go about things? It's just beyond belief. Before I was about to record this video, I wear beanie hats, right? I thought, shit, I wonder if these were invented by a white person or not, and I'm allowed to wear it. Luckily, the history suggests that the beanie was working apparel associated with blue-collar labourers, including welders, mechanics. It doesn't say who invented it. So if we're not sure of the history of a product or item, does that mean no one can wear it? Should we just make it illegal, just so nobody gets confused or whatever as to who is allowed to wear it? Ask yourself why you're always drawn to that GIF or that emoji.
That's my view. What do you think?
I don't know what to say, and this is on the BBC. This video on Facebook, on their Facebook page, has 3.3 million views. I just think it's sad that people are still worried about this sort of small stuff. That's not even a thing, right? It's not digital blackface. It is so fucking not digital blackface. It's a million miles from that. It's nothing. And the fact you're pointing it out is worse than just getting on with it and posting a GIF of any race you want because you think it's funny or interesting or it suits the comment you make. Because what I would see, right? Let's reverse this, right? If white people generally, like if there was a rule, like let's say white people stuck, before this all happened, white people stuck to, whenever they posted a GIF, they would make sure it's from a white person. Because, you know, just to make sure, you know, don't want to be seen as racist or whatever. Then some people, like this journalist and others that are totally over the top, would say, hang on, those white people, they refuse to use black GIFs. Racists. You can't fucking win. Right, I'm going to end my rant there. I just saw the video. It's like 2 in the morning, and I just felt like I had to have a rant on the subject. I know this is not my normal content. It's normal gaming stuff. But as you know, I do like a good rant. Get it out of my system. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, if you want to see me rant on more random subjects, maybe like a rant of the week, or just whenever something pisses me off, would you be okay me posting it on my channel? Because it doesn't really suit. Cultural appropriation and racism doesn't really go hand in hand with gaming Let's Plays. So if you're just totally not into it, please do let me know. All feedback considered and everything like that. You know I always read my comments. So thank you very much for watching. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. My overarching thing about this whole thing that's been brewing for a couple of years now is, surely the ideal is we want to get to a place where nobody sees colour, right? That's 100% the ideal. Everyone's going to agree to that. Then why are you trying to segregate people and races and saying, you keep your shit, I'll keep mine, we're not allowed to share it, so let's make each other more different than before? So let's say if a white person invents the teleportation device, only white people can use it. Or any other. It's just bonkers. It's just bonkers. I'll just leave it there. It's bonkers. I'll say it once more. Bonkers.